Good afternoon, everybody. Kitchen Cupid is back. Thank you for coming to my kitchen. I appreciate your watching. Okay, today we're going to make my world famous Margarita brownies. Okay, just so you know, these are alcoholic brownies. Do not give these to kids. The alcohol does not cook off in the oven. Okay, just so you know that. Okay. I can't believe that Labor Day is here already. Next weekend is Labor Day. These are great for Labor Day weekend. You can munch out. You could be in the kitchen eating a couple of brownies, getting a buzz, and no one will know the wiser, okay? You're gonna love these things. They're amazing. I'm gonna give you the ingredients in 2 steps. We're gonna do the crust first, and then we're gonna do the filling, okay? 2 different steps, okay? So for the crust, the first thing we're gonna do for the crust is we're gonna need 1 3/4 cups of all-purpose or bread flour, whichever one you use. I use bread flour because I told you last time it has a better mouthfeel because it's higher in protein. 1/4 cup of cornstarch. We're going to use 2/3 cup of confectioner's sugar, powdered sugar, whichever one, that's the one, and 3/4 teaspoon of salt, and 12 tablespoons of butter. The butter should be cold. It should give slightly when you push it. You don't want it soft and mushy. You want it a little bit cold still, but leave it out in room temperature about 45 minutes, and you'll be able to just push it in with your thumb. Okay. So first thing we're going to do is we've got a food processor here. Okay. We're going to take the food processor. 1 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour. 1/4 cup of cornstarch. Go. 2/3 cup of confectioner's sugar. Yep. 3/4 teaspoon of kosher salt. There we go. All right. Now we got that there. We're going to put the top on, and we're going to pulse it 2 or 3 times just to mix the dry ingredients together, okay? All right. Now, we're taking a 9x13 pan. Okay, 9x13 pan. We're going to spray it with Pam. Well, make sure you get the sides here. Okay. We're going to take a piece of aluminum foil. We're going to put the aluminum foil across widthwise, okay? So it hangs over the side, like this, like that, okay? Because it's going to act like a sling later to remove them, okay? Again, now you want to spray also the paper. All right, we got that done. Now, we're going to take the butter. The butter is cut in 1-inch pieces. We're going to put it in with the flour. Go. Got it all in there. Now we're going to put the top back on, and we're going to pulse this 8 or 10 times. 8 times. Check it. 2 more times. There you go. Okay. You want it. It's going to look like sand. It's going to look like sand. Okay. That's what you want it to do. You want it to look like sand. Now we're going to take it out. Get a spatula here. Put it all back in here into the pan. We're going to even it out. We want to put it even in the pan. You want to make a 1/4 inch, approximately 1/4 inch layer. You can, once you got it all covered in the pan, you want it to go 1/2 inch up the side of the pan, just like this, and everything else. Good. Perfect. Now that looks good, doesn't it? Okay. All right, now we have this part of the crust here. Okay, this goes into the refrigerator now. This goes into the refrigerator now for 1 hour. Okay, I'll see you back in an hour. All right, everybody, Kitchen Cupid is back. The crust has been in the refrigerator for an hour now. Okay, now what we're gonna do, I have my oven preheated to 350, and we're going to put it in the oven for 20 to 25 minutes until it gets a light golden color. Okay, right around 20 minutes, start watching it. Make sure it don't get too dark. You want a nice light golden color. Into the oven it goes. Middle shelf is good. Okay, we got it in the oven now, and we're gonna be back in 20 to 25. Thanks for watching the Kitchen Cupid. Okay, we're back. All right, our crust has been in the oven now for 25 minutes. It's ready to come out. We're gonna put it on the side, and we're gonna let it cool slightly by the oven here, because what we wanna do is when we put the filling on top of it, we want it to be slightly warm, okay? And we're gonna drop the oven temperature to 325, and we're gonna take out the crust. Very nice light golden crust, got it? Okay, there we go right there. And now we're gonna make our filling. Large bowl, large broken bowl, no, it's okay. All right. We're gonna do the ingredients are, 4 large eggs, 1 1/3 cups of granulated sugar, 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, 1/4 cup of lime juice, 1/4 cup of tequila, good tequila, this is the one I use. I use like a nice rested Reposado, which is a rested tequila, 1/4 cup of triple sec, 1/8 teaspoon of salt, 1/3 cup of milk, and 2 tablespoons of lime zest. And for finishing later, I use pink Himalayan salt on top when it's done and cooled and everything. Okay, so let's do that right now. I'm gonna put four eggs. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we got 4 eggs here. Now whisk them up, lightly beat them. Lightly beaten. 1 1/3 cups granulated sugar. 3 tablespoons of flour. We're gonna whisk that in good. Make sure you get all the dry ingredients done. It's a nice mixture, really, really well. Oh, I forgot 1 1/2 tablespoons of light corn syrup, I'm sorry. Okay, that's nice and mixed. Okay. 2 tablespoons of lime zest. Come on. Okay. We got 1/8 teaspoon of salt. Go. All right, now we're going to do a 1/4 cup of lime juice. I use 1 measure because that way you can get the full amount. We know we need 3/4 cup of liquid, so I'm going to do 1/4 cup lime juice, 1/4 cup of triple sec, and 1/4 cup of good tequila. Just for information, you usually get a tablespoon of lime zest out of 1 lime, 1 nice sized lime. See how we got that? All right, there we got 1/4 cup of lime juice. Here we go. 1/4 cup of triple sec. Perfect. 1/4 of a cup of good tequila. There we go. That goes in here. 1/3 of a cup of whole milk. And 1.5 tablespoons of light corn syrup. Perfect. All right. Good, you gotta really mix it real good. You wanna get that thickness of the corn syrup equally around the dish. Okay. Done. Now we're going to take our crust. And we're going to pour the crust, pour the filling on top of the crust. Now this is going to go in the oven at 325, okay, for approximately 40-45 minutes till it sets, okay? If after 45 minutes it's still a little jiggly in the middle, turn on your broiler for 2 to 3 minutes and let it dry up. That's it, okay? So we're going to put that, like that. In the oven, and we'll be back in 45 minutes. Okay, Kitchen Cupid, we're back. It's ready to come out of the oven. It's going to come out of the oven. We're going to put it on a cooling rack, and we're going to cool it for 30 minutes. And take a nice look what this is looking like. How's that? Okay, we're going to let it cool for 30 minutes, and then we'll be back. Okay. We are back with our finished product. We're just going to cut it and decorate, well not decorate, but garnish. Okay, here is my finished product. You want to take a knife and you want to go around all the parts that doesn't have the aluminum foil. Okay. Then what you want to do is you want to utilize the ends of the aluminum foil as a sling and just, there we go. Lift it out. Let's get rid of this pan. Check that out. Check that out, people. Looking good, right? Make sure it didn't stick. Good going. All right. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut it up into brownies. There we go. Like this. End one, okay. Coming out good, huh? What about that, huh? All right. Put them in here like that. There we go. Okay. Perfect. This is beautiful, beautiful. Joe, you've always outdone yourself. Okay, there we got. There they are. Pink sea salt. Nice coarse blend. Ladies and gentlemen, my world famous Margarita brownies. You're gonna love them. Don't have too many, you will get drunk. Thank you, and I just want to let everybody know for next week. Next week I'll be doing my world famous Sicilian pizza. This recipe isn't all my own. This was done many years ago by my aunt, my grandmother on my mother's side's sister, made the best pizza in the world, and I'm going to duplicate it here for you next week. I'm doing it for a friend of mine in the Carolinas, Paul. Paul, you wanted the pizza? You're going to get it. Looking forward to next week. Come back and visit me. The Kitchen Cupid says, have a great week.